What is a discrete domain versus a continuous domain in linear functions? Imagine you're walking along a path. Sometimes you can step only on specific stones, and other times you can walk anywhere along the trail. That's a bit like understanding the difference between a discrete and continuous domain in linear functions. In algebra, the domain is all the input values that a function can accept. When talking about linear functions, the domain can be either discrete or continuous, depending on what kind of input values are allowed. A discrete domain is made up of separate, individual points. Think of counting objects like apples or chairs. You can have 0, 1, 2, or 3 apples, but not half an apple. These values are often whole numbers or integers. When you graph a function with a discrete domain, you'll see dots or points at specific spots, not a smooth line. For example, if you're counting the number of books on a shelf, your domain might be 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. You can't have 2.5 books, so only whole numbers work here. Now, a continuous domain is different. It includes every possible value within a range. Imagine measuring the time it takes to run a mile. You can run it in 7 minutes and 30 seconds, or 7 minutes and 30.5 seconds. You can also have 7 minutes and 30.25 seconds. The input values are not just whole numbers but include fractions and decimals. When you graph a function with a continuous domain, the line is smooth and unbroken, covering all points between the start and end. In linear functions, which are functions that graph as straight lines, the domain can be either type. If the domain is continuous, the line stretches across an interval, like from 0 to 10 minutes, and includes all values in between. If the domain is discrete, the graph shows individual points, like specific steps or counts, and these points are connected by straight lines but only at those specific inputs. Knowing whether a domain is discrete or continuous helps you understand how to draw the graph and interpret real-world situations. For example, if you're counting people or objects, your domain is discrete. But if you're measuring something like temperature or distance, your domain is continuous. To sum up, a discrete domain has separate, individual values, often integers, and the graph shows points. A continuous domain includes all values within a range, including fractions, and the graph is a smooth, unbroken line. Recognizing this difference makes it easier to understand how linear functions work and how they relate to real-life problems.